Hello, hey, it's midday here. It's just past 11 o'clock, so I figured I'd take a little bit of time and try and go over how to read level 2 a little bit for you guys. Now, as a beginner, level 2 can be kind of intimidating, but once you get to understand it, you can use it. But one thing to keep in mind is that a lot of the level 2 is fake, so you can't swear by level 2 action. I use Thinkorswim. As you can see, I have it open in the background here. So level 2, of course, is this action right in this area. Alright, so right now we're looking at DWAC, which of course is crazy liquid right now, so this level 2 is especially complicated. But anyways, so you have a bid over here, and that's somebody that wants to buy the stock. So you can see that bid is somewhere around 103.90s, 104 now. And it's jumping all over the place. Like I said, it's extremely liquid right now, so it's going to be hard to follow this level 2. But once you get the idea of where everything is, we'll go to an easier example. So you have the bid here. The bid size is the size that the order is for. So bid size, I believe I have mine set to times 100. So that's not one share. That's actually 100 shares. Might even be 1,000. I can't remember exactly what I have it set to right now. So you can see the bid and the ask move up and down, and it's basic supply and demand. When you have more people that want to buy the stock than you do that want to sell it, then the price is going to go up. I use this in conjunction with a time and sales tape, which again, this stock is extremely liquid. So you can see it's bouncing all over the place. Usually I have a setting on my time and sales that I'm actually going to do right now. I want it to only show a certain size. There we go. So that will get rid of the small share orders. It will slow down your time and sales a little bit and make it a little easier to understand. So the red prints are when they're at the bid or below, and the green prints are when the sale goes through at the ask or above. And you can see a lot of red coming through now, so it's dropping fairly quickly. That was actually a pretty good drop. I wasn't expecting to catch that on film, but it just went from 103 down to 98 in a matter of seconds. I'm going to try and find another NASDAQ example that's a little bit slower right now. Let's go for AHPI. Now this one might actually be a little too slow, but that's a good starting point. So you can see the bid is 535, and there's a bunch of them there that are on 535, and there's only one seller at 538, and it's showing 100 or 1,000 shares. Now, like I said, level 2 can be very fake, so you never know if this is actually just for 100 shares or 1,000 shares, because you can hide your size when you put an order in. So the people that hide their size don't want to influence the price of a stock greatly, because if you show a huge amount on the ask, then typically buyers are going to get a little scared, and sellers are going to come in and try and undercut your price, and the price is going to go down. So if you're hiding your size, then you don't want to influence the stock price. Let's see if I can find an even better example. I think HGEN will be a good one. So HGEN is not very liquid right now either. Let's go to Fun. Now this is a sympathy plated DWAC, so it might be a little wild too. Not as bad though. You can actually see the bid stacking here, and the ask getting smaller, so it's probably going to uptick here. But once again, there can be hidden size, so we actually got a downtick. Level 2 on NASDAQs, I don't find especially useful unless you see a huge bid or a huge ask in a certain area, or a bunch of them. Let's go to an OTC. Now, unfortunately, Thinkorswim does not have level 2s for OTCs on their platform. TD Ameritrade on their mobile does, so that's actually how I get level 2 for OTCs. So it's a little difficult for me to explain it, but we have level 1 here, which is, of course, the highest bid and the highest ask. So it's a tight spread, which is the difference between your ask and your bid. Alright, so that's your spread, and right now the bid size is 370,000 and the ask size is 325,000. And we're 101 by 102. And you watch this in conjunction with the time and sales tape, which is also a little. This is a slow trade stock, but that one was on the bid. So there's a few that went through on the bid there, and so this bid size actually went up. So there's more buyers coming in. So I would expect an uptick out of this if they can take out the buyer at 102. Now think of 102 as a wall, and they're bidding against it, taking a brick out, taking a brick out, taking a brick out. There's a big order that just went through on the ask at 102. But then the ask size gets a lot bigger. So now it's up to 1.12 or 1.16 million. So there might have been some hidden size there. I was really hoping to get an example of hidden size. Let me see if I can find one. Of course, it's midday, so a lot of the OTCs aren't trading super liquid right now. I'm going to stick with this one for a little bit and just let you guys watch the action. And if there's something that I can point out, then I'll go ahead and do so. So right now our bid size is 727,000 and our ask size is 1.3 million. So that just got taken out at 102. Now we're down to 101 at 697,000. The ask has come down to 102. Excuse me, I misspoke there. That's where the size was. But you can see the 101, all the red prints coming through. Now we're down to 21,000 bid size. Another buyer steps in. We're at 111,000 now, back down to 21,000. But way more prints have gone through than 20,000. You can see it shows 10,000. This is the hidden size I was talking about. See how many prints just went through when it said 10,000? So you don't know how many shares are actually there. Now eventually that hidden size even got taken out because there's so many red prints. So much volume just went through at the bid. So now we're down to 10 by 101. We'll stick with it a little bit longer. Taken out. So now we're down to 99. So using the two tools together, you can see how level 2 and time and sales can be useful, especially on OTCs because they're usually not as liquid, so you can really see the bid or the ask start to stack, and they'll start getting more and more buyers or sellers depending on which way it's thinking of heading. So right now we're at 98 by 99. 99 just had a bunch of prints go through. So we're probably going to get an uptick here as the seller is only showing 95,000 shares. So we'll watch this for a second. We'll watch the time and sales. It's not super liquid right now. Again, it's midday. That's why I'm taking the time to make this video. Another seller stepped in, so now we're at 205,000 at 99. But that just got taken out. You can see 205,000 shares went through. Now we're at 98 by 10. So the spread is a little wider, but that's still a pretty tight spread. Usually if the spread's too wide, it's a tough stock to trade because if you buy on the ask, then you're automatically, if you wanted to sell those shares, then you'd have to sell at the bid, which can be, 10% difference or more. So it's useful to stick with stocks that have a tight spread. Here's the hidden size again. You can see a print of 50,000 that went through at 98, but it's still showing that 10,000. So there's a hidden buyer here. So he's trying to buy as much as he can at 98 without influencing the price of the stock. So he just got taken out. Now we're at 97 by 98. 97 has 470,000 shares showing, and 98 has 782,000. So we'll watch this a little bit longer. This is a good stock to do it on. It's not super liquid. It's a little slower moving, so it's easier to understand. 97 got taken out there, so now we're at 96. 96 got taken out, so now we're at 95. And now we're looking at 95 by 98. 95 is absorbing some huge size there, but a bidder steps in at 96, and they're taken out immediately. So this stock I would think would continue to downtrend, but we're also looking at the pattern. It's bounced off 95 a couple of times now, If this breaks below 95, I would expect it to continue downward trending, and we'll get into patterns a little bit later on. I just wanted to take a little bit of time to introduce you to the level 2. Of course, this is Day Trading 101 is what we're going to call this series. This is the first installment that I'm making, but there will be a bunch more coming. So make sure you hit that like and that follow button so that you can keep right up. Now I'm going to share the basics with you as much as I can. 95 is actually acting as support again. There's a huge buyer there at 2.6 million. The seller's at 40,000 at 96. So we're going to keep an eye on it just for another few seconds and see what happens here. So 96 just got taken out. 80,000 shares went through. So now we're actually upticking. And that can be anticipated a little bit because 95 acted as support before. And you can base entries and exits off from that. Now this chart is not one that I would play going into midday. Not saying it's not going to work, but it's not one that I would play right now. So hopefully you guys have a little bit of a grasp on level 2 now. And we'll move on to some more difficult subjects in the near future. So again, make sure you hit that like and follow button. I'm going to try and keep this fun and light. A lot of training videos on stock trading are boring. Like, I'd rather sit and watch paint dry. So we're going to try and keep this exciting and fun for you guys while we learn this stuff. And hopefully eventually we'll all see the success and the benefits of doing so. So thank you guys very much, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.